Well, this is kind of an exciting day. I am on my way to pick up our new hitch, and looking forward to giving it a whirl and showing you the differences. So stay tuned. Okay, so we brought the hitch home and we got some friends to help unload it from the truck, and we moved it into the garage, which is a total disaster right now because we are still working on the remodeling of our basement. So I am taking you into our really dirty garage to show you the hitch. This is the BD3 Trailer Saver. It's on the little pallet. It's about 250 pounds. You know, it's not extremely heavy, but it is really bulky. So make sure when you try to lift it, you get some friends to help you do so. So I'm gonna open it up real quick and we'll take a look at it. But take a look at the jaws on this thing before I get it all unboxed. I mean, that is, I don't know, that's gotta be an inch thick, at least. I can get the tape measure out. And as I continue to unbox, you will see how thick the material is on this. Now, one thing that looks like this will have to be done is a lube plate. One of the advantages of the Blue Ox is that it does have kind of a self-lubing head on it, where you don't need to add any grease plate or any grease. But we'll see how it goes. So here now we have the materials that came off the handle here. This was all kind of packages you saw, or you should have seen. So let's see what kind of goodies are in here. Pins and cotter pins. These are extension handles, so when it's mounted into the bed of the truck, if you can't reach over, let's say you're short and you're not tall like I am, you can just use this to help reach over. I'm gonna leave this bundled up for now. I don't know that I'm gonna need it, but if so, we'll use it. But just at a quick look, again, the BD3 Trailer Saver. It has 2 airbags, and it also has shock absorbers to help with motion. So it's just straight from the factory. You'll notice there's a red mark here on this mechanism, and this just goes to show you that this lever undocking or unlocking or unhitching position. So when this is pulled all the way forward, you are now ready to unhitch. Right here is a little pull handle, and when you pull this, it is going to release this from the unlatched or from the unhitching position. It's very, there we go. It's pretty tough, but now this is ready to receive your RV, your hitch. And once it pulls in, these jaws, again, will clamp around the kingpin. I believe it comes apart into at least 2 pieces. This comes off, and these rails right here will slide out for this assembly. On the side here, let's see, this would be on the driver's side. Once it's mounted into the truck, you have a Schrader valve that allows you to add air and release air as needed. It does look like it has a little air in it already. The shock absorbers are already mounted. In order to pull this assembly off, it looks like these pins would have to come off, shock absorbers removed, and then pull these cotter pins here off to lift the assembly up. All right, so more to come. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is take the existing hitch out of the truck, and as I'll show you here in a moment, you know, they're just standard rails, and the Blue Ox hitch comes apart in 3 pieces. Okay, so there we have the head. I'm not sure what it's called, but the post, the uprights, and then the base unit, which is clamped in on the standard rails. And one of the things I did when I was installing this replacement hitch from Blue Ox was I got the clamps very tight. You know, we had some issues with some bolts loosening up, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, nothing was coming loose other than those screws. Now, after using the red Loctite, I have not had any other bolts come loose, and I'll check again, but it doesn't look like it. So I think that issue is resolved simply by using some red Loctite. So if you have this model hitch, I think you can still feel fairly comfortable with adding some red Loctite to that, and knowing that after about, I don't know, I've got about 8,000 miles on this since I replaced the, since I found the issue and then put red Loctite on it, and I haven't seen any more issues. Only other thing I've seen is the little pin that you pull out to allow the release handle. I've seen it sticking up, like maybe it's been vibrating loose and the handle maybe was giving way a little bit. I guess if that came out and things were just right, it's possible, I guess, it could go into the maneuver position, which would not be good if you're traveling. So, but that's not happened. I just noticed it, and I actually just put some tape over the pin just to keep it from popping up. All right, so let's loosen this up, and we'll see you get this out of here. As I've shown you, these cams help lock this in place. And again, I made these extra tight because the last thing I want is the base come loose. And these bolts are good and tight. I didn't see any of these things backing out. Again, this one had come all the way out. That one was backing out, and that one was loose. This is the one that kind of gave it all away because it was backing out, rubbing against the center post. As it would move a little bit, it was causing a lot of funny screechy sounds. So that's how I found it. That's how I found the issue. And then these cams are locked in with a pin, and this pin has a C-clip on it. So you have to get your little screwdriver and pull that C-clip off, and then pull that out. So after a few minutes and a few choice words, when you get these clips out, you'll want to retain the C-clip and keep those together so you don't lose them. You store them away, and then you'll need to get the clip underneath the rail here, the cotter pin, and pull that out. Let's try it again. There we go. So actually the backs are a little easier to get to. They're more open. Last thing you want to do is remove these pins. Okay, so first thing on disassembling the new hitch, we are going to pull the cotter pins out over these shafts, and that just slides right out. Now the pins are easy enough to pull with just your fingers. Next, we will need to remove the shock absorbers. Okay, well that was a monumental failure. It's just too much to try to handle. I couldn't get even though I got the shafts out and I got all the clips off of the shocks, when I went to try to pull the shocks off, of course they would expand, and it was pushing itself around, and it's still sitting on my dolly and on the crate that it was shipped in. So I'm gonna have to hire some young men to come over and help me lift this thing into the bed of the truck. Again, it's only like 225 pounds, but it's just bulky. So I put it all back together, and I did clean the bed of my truck out though, and I think it's going to be more narrower. So the blue ox came out to here and to here, and it looks like Hensley, the trailer saver, is going to go here and here. So I'm going to gain a little bit of room on the sides, which is great because my toolboxes and stuff were always kind of a hassle to get over. So I'll get somebody to come help me lift this thing in the truck, and we'll get her done.